shows lean left, some lean right, but we lean local and business. This is North Georgia Business RadioX with Phil Bonelli. For the next hour, we will celebrate the businesses in our area and the people that run them. Find us on Facebook at North Georgia Business RadioX and online at northgeorgiabusinessradiox.com. Now, here's Phil Bonelli.
All right, folks, this show is definitely not a sleeper, but we are going to talk a lot about a guy who pioneered putting people to sleep. Here on the show today, we've got my new pal, Miss Marena Bleech. Marena, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it's a delight to have you here. I was in beautiful downtown Jefferson just the other day, eating lunch with a great pal of mine, the one and only Mr. Chris Gooch. Hello, Chris. And I met Marena. Chris is on the board of the Crawford W. Long Museum in Jefferson. Marena is the director of said museum, and she is also the manager of the Jefferson Public Library. Quite an accomplished young lady with cool earrings, which you can't see, but trust me, they're legit. And I was very intrigued and wanted to have Marena on the show, and she's so gracious to come because Crawford W. Long, and you can tell us more about him than my limited knowledge, but he pioneered anesthesia, and he was a pharmacist. Was he a pharmacist or a doctor?
He was a doctor.
He was a doctor.
But he was also a pharmacist later on. So
okay. He was both, and he invented anesthesia. Think about that. If you've ever had a teeth work done, a gallbladder removed, thank you, Dr. Crawford W. Long, because it's a lot better than just putting a thing of leather between your teeth after you take a shot of whiskey and just grind it out while somebody does whatever they got to do. Any hoodle, Marena, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Let's start off. I want to talk about a lot of things. I definitely want to talk about the library because the library is amazing. What a big blessing that we have them. But let's talk about Crawford W. Long first. Tell us about him.
Well, he was an amazing man. And as you were talking about surgery, that was something that was avoided at all costs. During the time that he lived, you pretty much pushed it to the last point until you got surgery. And they would ring a bell, have people come and hold someone down.
Oh my goodness.
And notify the town that this was going on.
Notify the town so they wouldn't be worried about the screaming. Oh goodness sakes.
So yes, you tried to avoid surgery, and often people, once they did do the surgery, they would lose a lot of blood, get some sort of infection, and they would die. So it really
not feel very well.
Yes, exactly. So this was a very significant discovery by Dr. Long. Dr. Long was from Danielsville, Georgia. That was where he grew up.
Okay.
He did attend the University of Georgia.
Go Dogs.
At the age of 14.
All right.
He was the youngest student there, and he was roommates with Alexander Stevens, who was the oldest student.
How cool.
And so he did acquire a degree. He was still rather young, though, so his father didn't want him going off to medical school so young. So he studied under Dr. Grant in Jefferson, Georgia. Learned a bit from him, eventually went to medical school, came back to Jefferson and bought Dr. Grant's practice.
Okay.
And that spot is where the museum is now, and that is where he did perform the first painless surgery on March 30th, 1842. So he used what's called ether, and ether was used at the time as a recreational drug.
Right. People would just be stumbling. Didn't he see people stumble and fall and not feel pain?
Yes. During medical school, he attended what you would call, at the time, frolic parties. And so we capitalize on that term sometimes now in terms of we just had a little celebration and we called it a spring frolic.
Oh, I love it.
So he noticed that people would, after using ether, they might fall down and stumble and hurt themselves and not really feel much pain. So he thought, hey, let's use this for surgery. And so that's what he did. He did it with a very young man named James Venable. He had a couple of tumors on his neck. And he was willing to try this new method, and he didn't even realize that Dr. Long actually began the surgery. So he didn't really feel anything, removed the tumors, and and so that was the first painless surgery. And just to kind of set the scene, this is like frontier town Jefferson. Not much there. They're very rural. People would often stop there on the way to Dahlonega for gold and stay at a hotel right by where the museum is now. But that was really most of what was going on, not a lot. So Dr. Long was considered a country doctor, but he was very well educated, as we talked about. But less than half of doctors in America at that time actually had a degree. They were all kind of trained by the apprentice sort of system. So he was much more educated than most doctors. So he was a country doctor, but he was very unique in that as well. And he did not publish his findings right away. So it took about 100 years for him to actually be recognized officially as the discoverer of anesthesia.
Wow.
You had some people up in Boston that were eventually kind of doing that sort of same thing. And they were doing public demonstrations in like big hospital auditoriums. And so that's when people started encouraging Dr. Long to publish his findings. And he eventually did in 1849 in the Southern Medical Journal. He gathered the affidavits from the people that were there at the surgery and published those findings. And then Congress got involved and promised $100,000 to anyone that could produce it safely and consistently. And then the Civil War happened. And so that money was never awarded. But eventually, years later, after Dr. Long did publish his findings, his daughter kept record of his surgeries, and using ether, he was recognized more officially as the actual discoverer of anesthesia. Although today, when you go to certain websites, they want to sometimes say it was the guys in Boston, but no.
No, we know better. Okay. All right. Jefferson, Georgia, Crawford W. Long. Okay. How cool.
Yeah.
There are answers to questions all around us.
Yes.
And I'm not saying if you have a problem, go to a frolic party and you'll find the answers. But I mean, it worked for Crawford W. Long.
It does.
How awesome. So then he had his physician's practice till he died?
He did. Actually, he was in Jefferson for about 8 years after that. He moved to Atlanta for a year, didn't like it. Moved to Athens and had...
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And he had kind of a pharmacy downtown with his brother. During the Civil War, he actually stockpiled manufactured drugs before anyone else, so they ran out last to everyone else around them. So He was really smart.
He was a smart fellow.
Man. Yeah.
He recognized supply and demand dynamics.
He did. He was certainly kind of a businessman as well, so...
I like it. I like it. How cool. And, hey, if you're listening to this show, it's on WDUN. I mean, if you're listening on the podcast, I don't know where you're at. But you can't be far if you're listening on the radio from the Crawford W. Long Museum. When is it open?
It is open Monday through... It is not. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is not open on Mondays. I still work on Mondays, but it's not open then. It's open Tuesday through Saturday during the week from 10 to 5, and then on Saturdays, 10 to 4.
All right. Go for a visit. And there's that restaurant that there's like is that in his original pharmacy? They've got all these cool artifacts in this pharmacy that has sandwiches, which are delicious.
The Crawford Long Pharmacy. So
yes.
That is simply named after
him,
just because of his significance. That was not his pharmacy, but they do have, I think, a sandwich or something named after him. So
yes, they got some good stuff in there. Some good stuff. So check it out. Get you a sandwich. Eat it first. I imagine there's not food and drink allowed in the museum.
True.
Right?
True.
Somebody's got to clean that up. We don't need
that.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break in a second, and then we're going to talk about libraries, which I'm very excited about. But as we do, as you're listening to the commercials, think about the problems you have that exist, which maybe everyone has been dealing with, and people were dealing with the surgery issue for hundreds or thousands of years. What sort of solution could you find for what is plaguing you? Let's get creative. Knowledge really is power. Actually, I would say knowledge mixed with action is power, but you got to have that knowledge to make it happen. Welcome back to North Georgia Business Radio X. I am your happy host, Phil Bonelli, and I'm getting more knowledgeable as we speak because I'm hanging out with the one and only Marena Bleech. And shout out to Gina Bleech, her mom, a wonderful lady. Hello, Gina. Thank you for raising such a great daughter. If you're just joining us, Marena is the director of the Crawford W. Long Museum in Jefferson, Georgia, which has a lovely downtown area you should visit.
Yes.
She is also, in her spare time, the manager of the Jefferson Public Library. Thank you, Marena, for doing that.
Of course. It's fun.
It seems fun.
Yeah.
And I am a big fan of libraries. My kids go to tons of things at the library, lots of fun activities. Not in Jefferson because I live in Gainesville. But it'd be great if they got to go to the Jefferson one because I hear good things.
You can still come.
People say good things. Thank you. And I really firmly believe, I'm somewhat enamored with libraries. It is one of the most underappreciated resources in our great nation that you can go and get. Look, any book you could imagine. Anytime. You can access the internet. If you are in a rough economic situation, you don't have a home or you don't have internet at your home, they have quiet spots at the library. You can hop online, learn anything, apply for jobs, whatever. You could get books, entertain yourself, teach yourself, whatever you want to know. It's amazing. I've got a great client over in Athens, and he lives near Jefferson. He goes and uses one of the, I think, study or reading rooms for a good focus spot. They are wonderful. I believe that public libraries really were, in our country, the first one was in Philadelphia by Benjamin Franklin. Is that correct? You know about libraries.
So.
Yep. And he got his buddies together. Books then, of course, were very expensive. So he got some pals together and said, if we all chip in some money and then pay a little retainer every month, we can just keep buying all these books and check them out. And he was big on promoting education, and that helped educate a whole lot of laborers and apprentices, and you could be a tanner or whatever tradesman and read whatever John Locke or whatever you want to read. Same thing is true today, but with way more. So anyway, thank you for what you do there.
Thank you.
Tell us all about the Jefferson Public Library.
Well, I love my library that I work at. I have such great staff that, they're amazing at planning programs, something for everyone, really.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, today we're having a cursive class to teach
Fantastic.
cursive to kids because, they don't teach that as much in school now. So we just have a variety of things. I think people that maybe haven't been to the library recently would be very surprised to walk in and find all of the different resources and different opportunities there. We have so many different programs. In addition to just checking out books and having book clubs, we, of course, have computer access. We have Chromebooks that you can check out.
Chromebooks?
Yeah, you can check out a Chromebook. Yes. We even have like a seed library where you can check out seeds, take them home, plant a garden.
You're not going to return
you're not going to turn those back in necessarily, but that's just a really amazing resource as well. And there's story time, just different random programs that we'll try out just to see kind of if it sticks. There are some days, like on Fridays, we even open early and provide coffee as like a fun way to let people in there early, things like that. So there's just so much. We're having this month toddler prom, which is one of my particular favorites that my staff puts on, and the toddlers come dressed up really fancy and they take little pictures at toddler prom, and it's fun. It's really fun. So we try to have something going on. Almost every day we have something on our calendar, and it's great because also if people are looking for particular books, we're in the Pine system, so we can get books from across the state of Georgia, and your library that you go to is part of it as well, in Gainesville. So we can kind of pretty much get you anything that you need, or we will try our best to find it. So it's a lot of fun. Really just the people that come in. You develop relationships with them, and they bring their families, homeschool families. We have homeschool programs as well.
Like it. We homeschool. Libraries are great.
Yes. This week we had a flamenco dancer give them a little present. I'm sorry, I should have. We gave them a
Bill
little.
And I would have been there.
Yeah. Gave a little presentation about flamenco dancing. We've had, snakes. We had a program about possums, like just anything you can think of, which is what makes it fun, So.
This makes sense. We the farm, we have taken baby chicks and turkey poults, which is a baby turkey, to a local library because they're just doing cool stuff around Thanksgiving and whatnot.
Well, you should come to ours because
we'll stay in touch.
If you bring an animal to the library, they will come. Everyone.
Okay. I think turkey poults and Thanksgiving.
We've had goat story times before too. Wow. So
come on now. Yeah. And make sure you got the broom and dustpan behind those goats, okay?
Yeah.
It's all right. It's worth it.
It is. It's totally worth it.
This is a lesson in business and life. We were just talking about, she mentioned there's goats, and I've had goats. In fact, I'm taking my hat off, and I'm having a moment of silence, which is not of sadness. It's a reflection. I don't want to waste the opportunity to bask in joy and euphoria. Because whenever people mention goats, it reminds me that there are goats on this planet. Yes. And I no longer own any of them.
Oh, okay.
And the feeling of peace and joy, it really is overwhelming.
We'll have someone else bring the
Yeah, somebody else can bring the goats. Those suckers, those goat owners out there. Oh, man. People are always like, do you have goats? I'm like, no, why would I? Anyway, goats are really fun and spunky. They just get out a lot.
Right.
But she mentioned that goats have been there. And I think that's wonderful. And goats really are cool. If you have goats, I'm pumped for you. Goats are really fun. But when I thought of goats, I immediately thought of goat poop on the floor.
Yes.
And that is how so many things in life are. Hold on with me for a minute. Having the goats at the library is a tremendous opportunity, and I'm sure people loved it. It brought joy. There was educational opportunities from it, and pretty much everything good.
And the lawn got cut.
The what?
The lawn got cut.
The lawn got cut. That's right.
Actually, the messy animal was a pig that we.
Oh, I bet. You brought a pig?
I mean, it was supposed to be contained, but it did not work.
They don't do that. So. Oh, you're bold. I like you, Marina. You're fun. Anything good. There's a verse in the Bible which is when the manger is empty, it's clean, but there's much profit from the ox. And with that, just like with the goat, look, you got an ox, he could plow your field, he could pull your wagon, but he's going to poop all over his stall, and you're going to have to clean it up.
Yes.
And every good opportunity you have, you might be holding back because you're like, there's going to be proverbial poop on the floor. Yes, there is. And anything worth doing, there's going to be goat poop on the floor.
Very true.
Get her done. Buckle up, Buttercup.
I mean, yeah, it's worth it.
It is
totally
worth it.
So.
When you do great programs at the library, there's a million reasons not to do them. The flamenco dancer is going to be a prima donna and just want green M&Ms, or this and that. If we give people Chromebooks, someone might steal a Chromebook. Yeah, there's problems with everything, but be a Marena Bleech. Grab life by the reins or by the horns and go make it happen. People, that's a life lesson from here today.
Well, let me just say that my staff are the best ones at doing that, though, because they brainstorm, and I'm like, sure, go for it.
Well, and a quick lesson before the break, listen to that. So Marina's mentioned several times about her great staff, and they're putting on amazing programs because they have a very supportive leader who allows them to spread their wings and fly.
Well, thank you.
And that's important. If whenever they had a great idea, if you're the sort of leader who, when your employees say, hey, we could bring a goat, and every time you just think about the goat pooping on the floor, they're going to stop having the great ideas. So be like Marina. Don't worry about the goat poop on the floor. Go get her done. All right, we'll be back after this break on North Georgia Business Radio X.
Steve and Ashley finally got their twins to sleep through the night. But the thought of saving for 2 college tuitions kept them up at night. That's why they decided to meet with their Regions banker to build a Regions Green Print plan, a financial roadmap personalized for what matters most to them. Now Steve and Ashley are confident in reaching their goals for today and tomorrow. Start building your financial confidence with a Regions Green Print plan. It's free, and it's only from Regions Bank. Visit Regions.com to find a branch near you. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to business, in anything in life, you've got to be at your best. And one of the keys to being at your best is having healthy food. What if you could get the most delicious, nutritious animal proteins and organic veggies delivered right to your door every Wednesday? Guess what? If you live in Hall County, you can. Go to hopewellfarmsga.com. That's hopewellfarmsga.com and sign up for one of our weekly subscription boxes. You will get every week a dozen or 2 dozen, depending on your box, farm fresh eggs. Hey, Bill, how are those eggs? They're great. He's got a thumbs up. And a variety of pasture-raised pork, pasture-raised chicken, and grass-fed, grass-finished beef. HopewellFarmsGA.com. Go get yours today.
Orange yolks.
Orange yolks, that's right.
Never seen orange yolks.
Yeah,
in
store-bought
years.
yolks are jokes. That's what we say.
They're
at the
yellow.
farm. Yeah.
But these are a deep, bright orange, and they're delicious.
And they're delicious and nutritious. All right, here we go. We're back to the show. It's fun, Marena, getting to do commercials for yourself.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Welcome back. We're here in the Northeast Georgia Health Systems studio on the beautiful downtown Gainesville Square, rivaled only by the beautiful downtown Jefferson Square. And we're missing that we do not have a museum dedicated to the inventor of anesthesia because he was in Jefferson at the time, not here. But welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm here with Marena Bleech, a wonderful young lady. She is the director of the Crawford W. Long Museum in Jefferson, which you need to check out. And you could go to Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, or Saturday, 10 to 4. Marena is a fun young lady. She likes to close an hour early on Saturday so she could go do fun things. But not frolic parties.
That's what we do in that hour.
It's a frolic party hour.
hour.
You'll have to go listen back to learn about frolic parties. But she is also the manager of the Jefferson Public Library. And folks, I'm not going to go on and on about how amazing libraries are at this moment because I did that in the last segment, but they are. And I want to talk about some more resources from the library. First off, let me ask you, because I love to read. And I'm a huge fan of reading physical books, audiobooks, and just learning is so fun. Were you always a reader, and that is what made you want to be the manager of libraries?
No.
Okay.
Was not. I mean, I did like learning in school, but I really didn't develop a love for reading, honestly, until I was in college.
Okay. So
I kind of came to that late, but it's kind of been fun because I get to go back and read the classics that
I'm right there with you, sister.
never did.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I love it now, and it's more like working at the library has pushed me towards reading naturally, of course. Which is a great thing, but yeah, I mean, I read some when I was growing up. It just wasn't my focus like it is now, and I don't think I realized the benefit as I would say it certainly has for me now, and it's just enjoyable. It's just it's fun.
It's delightful.
It is.
And some lessons from that. So, when you got into the learning environment of college, you got more into reading, but
Yes.
also you've read more as you've been at the library. If you go surround yourself with opportunities for knowledge, you are more likely to engage in acquiring
Yes.
that knowledge.
Yes, and then when you're told you need to lead book club, then you really do have to get into it, which is great.
Marena, your wisdom knows no bounds, folks. There is such power in have to. And if you want to do something, like let's say you're like, I know I need to read some more books. I need to learn about leadership. I need to learn about business. Or you just want to read for fun. And you're like, I got to carve out time. Go join a book club.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a position. Get some buddies together and say, hey, we're gonna read this book, Good to Great. We're going to talk about it a month from now. We're going to go to the Crawford W. Long Pharmacy and get a Crawford W. Long sandwich. And we're going to talk about it. Put it on the calendar. Commit yourself to it, because then you'll have to read it.
Yeah.
At the farm, I have needed to desperately build out our SOPs, our standard operating procedures. As we've grown in team, we've got more people helping lead the farm. I've needed to download the things out of my brain so that they could use those going forward. And Marena, I got to tell you, I procrastinated months.
Yes, I'm very familiar with procrastinating.
I never sat down and did it.
Yeah.
And then I got with a guy on my farm, Logan. He's awesome. Shout out to Logan. And I was like, Logan, at 7 o'clock, almost every morning, we're going to sit down and bill out these SOPs. And he's usually just hanging with me while I do it because I'm talking and billing out. But it's just that accountability. I have to.
You do need some accountability. And then, like, we had book club this week. It is so much fun. It's so rewarding. And I think then you're going to want to go back and do it more and, see what else you can discover.
All right. So, again, Marena, the wisdom knows no bounds. For such a young woman, she's very wise. It must be because she reads a lot. And, again, we could tell Gina was a great mom. Shout out to Gina Bleech.
She's going to love it.
What a great lady. Oh, I tell you. But anyway, give yourself accountability. So sign up for the book club. Mm-hmm. Number one, whatever your book club is, it's going to make you do it. Number two, I held up a one. But number two, get in a group so that you could learn from that book. But if you're then in a group of other people seeking to learn, you're going to learn so much more because you and I could read the same book. And I could draw some certain insights out. And you, with your different experience and background than me, you'll draw out different things that I could learn from. We could triangulate that. And then if we have 10 people in the book club, boom. That's a lot of triangulation.
And it's a lot of fun when like half of them love it and half of them hate it, and you get a little bit of a battle going on with that. It makes the conversation more enjoyable, honestly, than just everyone agreeing the whole time. So, yeah.
All right. Lesson number 3 from Marena, of many. You need to put yourself in a position where you're in around people that don't agree with you all the time. And that is so key for business. Golly, I am so happy that in business I get to be around folks who have different skill sets and opinions. And if all they do is agree with me, I'm not learning a darn thing. And, I've already got a dog, Merle. He sits there and he likes everything I do. I don't need another Merle.
Yeah.
But I do need Merle. He's the best. He's so sweet. Fun times. Okay. Who knew we were going to learn so much from Marena? I had an idea. I thought so. But one day there's going to be a Marena Bleech museum next to the Crawford W Museum. I think. I've got a feeling that that's going to happen. All right. Let's talk about some more of those resources at the library. I love Hoopla, which my library uses, and that is a digital catalog of audiobooks and ebooks. You all use Canopy and Libby, I believe?
Yes. So Canopy, that is kind of the library version of Netflix.
Okay.
So it's a streaming service, and you actually get to watch a certain number of movies a month for free. So,
come on.
And Libby is for audio and ebooks. And it works just like...
Canopy is the one like Netflix.
Yes, that's right. And Libby is just an app that you can have on your phone. So you can place... you can borrow or place a hold on an ebook or audiobook and listen to it just like, when you used to have an audiobook with lots of discs in there. It's just on your phone, like you'd play an audiobook on Audible. And it's all free. So that's the great part about it.
Save yourself $38 to $40 a month today. Cancel Netflix, cancel Audible, and get on with Libby and Canopy or Hoopla, just whatever your local library is. Which, by the way, if you don't know your local library, and if you don't have a library card, you will need a library card.
Yes.
Go to your local library. If you are just one blessed son of a gun, you're going to be close to the Jefferson one because they've got cool programs with pigs and flamenco dancers and all sorts of. Bill and I are going there next week.
Please
I don't know what's going on. We're going to come. And
I want to see the flamenco dancing goats.
From what I hear for staff,
that's a good
they
idea.
Hear this idea,
they're probably going
to.
Yeah. It's like they go really far with an idea, and then you just have to take it back a few notches to normal.
Yeah.
Sort of normal.
So you encourage them to spread their wings, and then you help trim the fat off those.
Right.
So wise. Gee willikers.
I will say, we do have a lot of programs for adults as well. Like we're having an author visit at the 1st of May. His name is Chris Greer, and he does a lot of Georgia travel and photography. So that's something, you might be interested in.
I would. 1st of May?
Yes, May 1st, I believe.
All right.
He's like the co-host of PBS Viewfinders or something.
PBS Viewfinders.
Yes.
And he'll be here.
He will be there at the library giving a presentation. So, and it's something people, they may not have the opportunity to go somewhere and see someone like that. So we try to bring people in so that they have that opportunity in their, in their local city.
Here's what you might want to do if you're out there listening. Cancel your Netflix, cancel your Audible. Flip that $35 a month, start giving it to the library on a recurring gift. They can help you do. And then that $35, you're going to get that about 1,000 times over. And you don't even have to travel anywhere. Just go to the library. Get you a Rick Steves book. I will tell you right quick. I went on twice. I went to just once I brought the books with me. I went to Europe. We were in like a 7 or 8 day Mediterranean cruise, and I got Rick Steves books for several of the ports we were going to. Took notes, and I took them with me.
Yeah.
I checked them out and took them, and I just went through Europe with these library books. It was so.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick Steves is where it's at if you're going to Europe. And then brought them back and turned them in on time.
There you go, and you don't have to pay for them.
Didn't have to pay for them. World class. All right, we'll be back after this break, which I hate to take because we're having so much fun. But we have to after this break on North Georgia Business Radio X. All good things must come to an end, sadly. Don't worry, we're not at the end yet, but this has been such a fun episode, and we're in our last segment. Marena, thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
We've covered so many topics. Crawford W. Long, the true inventor of anesthesia, not those Boston cream pies up there.
Right.
Public libraries and how amazing they are.
Yes.
And I got to say, we have to talk a little bit more about public libraries because they are fantastic. Again, if you are out there, I really, there's no excuse if you have limited resources. You can access so many things for free at the public library. And just like we talked about from Proverbs, the ox in the stall or the proverbial goats at the library, all right, there's difficulties with everything, but you can go and make it happen.
Yes.
All right, so a couple more resources at the public libraries. I'd love to hear about the legal tools and forms that are available. Tell us about that.
That's called Gale Legal Forms, and pretty much any form, any legal form that you need, you can simply pull it up on there, print it off, and it's by state often as well. So you can find whatever specific form it is that you need. We also have Mango.
I'm sorry. Pause real quick.
Yeah.
So then if I'm forming an LLC or something, I can come to the library, knock it out.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. Okay, sorry. Let's continue on.
I was just going to say that we also have Mango language app, which is where you can learn any language that you would like to learn, even sign language as well. So yeah, again, the resources are endless. We also have access to Ancestry.com. Free access to that when you use it at the library. ABC Mouse, you can use it at home for free. That's normally, a paid subscription that you have to have, but that's free as well. So just, again, a little bit of everything, something for everyone. World Book, eReads Kids, just many different resources for whatever different sort of material that you are looking for.
I love it. Marena shared with me after during the break something I want to give a shout out to. Shout out to the city of Jefferson for doing a great job dedicating funding to the public library. And tell us though, just libraries in general. I'm sure there's a variety of funding. Municipal, is there federal? Where does it come from?
Yes. Libraries, many of them are different. Some may obtain more from the state, some more from their city or county, and then there's federal funding as well. We are very lucky to have our city support us as well as it does. They're extremely supportive. We're also a member of the Piedmont Regional Library System, and so through that we also get some county and state funds as well. But I just think local support is the most important because they're the ones that they're right there. And I think people in the community and the people that work in the city should certainly value the library as an institution more so than anyone. So it's great that we're so well supported, and I hope other libraries can be as well, more so in the future because it's just a great asset to have. It allows us to do more programs, to buy more books. So all around, it's good for everyone.
Y'all engage with your public library. I really would encourage you to see if there is funding needed. And again, cancel your Audible and your Netflix and probably your Prime Music or Apple Music too. And get on these tools that you can use for free. And the great thing, I guarantee you, that at the Jefferson Public Library or whatever library you're at with these legal tools and Ancestry, that the folks there who are great, they'll help you walk you through how to use them.
Absolutely. Yes. We are always happy to help anyone that comes in and needs it. So we're there for that too.
If I wanted to go form Bill and Phil LLC right now, and I want to have a business that we made a product and sold it in Cambodia, I could go for free, set up my LLC at the library, do research on how to form a business, and learn Cambodian.
Yes.
And get it all done.
Exactly.
There's no excuses, people. Get it done, and then see some flamenco dancers and some goats at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm making big promises at the library. There's not goats there every day.
No.
But
Fortunately not.
Fun stuff every day.
Yes.
This is so wonderful. Thank you. And let me see if I could remember some of the lessons that I do not want us to forget. For one, back to our pal Crawford W. Long. Look, surgeries were a last resort. People were waiting until there was no other option to get a surgery because you would literally just have to, who knows, take a shot of moonshine and grit your teeth. And
yes.
People had to hold you down. And that sounds unpleasant.
Very.
But also that would have less favorable outcomes because I imagine they weren't doing as good a job of stitching things up because there's this writhing, yelling person.
You were in a hurry, yes.
Crawford W. Long kept his eyes open, kept his issues in mind, this problem with surgeries, and figured out a solution that people hadn't found for hundreds or thousands of years. There are problems available to solve right now. And you and your business or your nonprofit or whatever can solve them. Keep your eyes open. Go read some books at the library. Figure it out. All right. Now on to the specific Jefferson Public Library. You've heard a lot of great things here today. And you mentioned Marena. You heard Marena mentioning her staff. Some keys for that. If you've got a team, which look, if you want to accomplish anything, you're going to need a team at some point. And I'd encourage you to get teams sooner rather than later. Sometimes before you need it. There's a lot of stuff maybe Marena could do herself, but she's got great people who do it.
Yes.
Encourage your team to be creative and come up with solutions. When they come up with an idea, you don't want to be the sort of leader who immediately just poo-poos their idea. Encourage them in it. And it might be a bad idea that you don't do.
Could be.
That happens. But don't be negative. Just share, okay, hey, I like that. I like where you're going there. Let's think about this. What are the second and third level consequences? And provide some oversight. But encourage your folks. There's almost nothing better that you can do than A, have the right folks, and then B, make them feel confident and supported in what they're doing. And then another lesson from Marena is just go and learn. There are resources out there. If there's things you want to learn, if there's something you want to start, I don't care if you're 75 and you felt like you should have done it when you were 25.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
No.
Go to the library, learn that language, start the LLC, whatever. All right, Marena, it is time for our wrap-up. What are a few things that we should rap about?
Coffee, obviously.
Oh, come on now. I got Marena an Irish cream from Meadowlark. Whew!
I'm a big coffee fan anyway, so that's going to be in my head.
It's good stuff. If you like coffee, go to the Jefferson Public Library on Friday mornings. They'll have it.
Yes. First Saturday. First Friday.
First Friday. All right.
Don't come every day expecting coffee. I'm sorry, we don't.
All right, first Friday. All right, what else besides coffee do we have here?
Well, obviously, goats.
Goats, got to have that.
And let's see, piano.
All right. Goats in the library are anything but clean, but that's all right. We thank them because they discovered coffee beans. Chewing them, they're in Ethiopia. What rhymes with that? I don't know. I'm just doping ya. Anyway, piano tinkle in the ivories, hanging out with the goats, dancing all up on the keys. Coffee from Meadowlark, it is the best. That's okay. Go to the library, get you some rest, read a book, listening to hoopla. Oh yay! You could go there almost every single daggum day. Keep on learning languages from an LLC. Hang out with my homegirl Marena and me. Marena, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You didn't know that was gonna happen?
No, it was great.
But I had coffee too, and so I just couldn't help it. Thank you to our libraries. Go make big things happen, folks. Over and out from North Georgia Business RadioX.
You've been listening to North Georgia Business Radio X with Phil Bonelli. What local business do you know that should be highlighted on our program? Let us know. Just search North Georgia Business Radio X on Facebook or contact Bo at businessradiox.com. See you next time, and remember to support our local businesses.